Hi there, my name is Cupicate, and welcome back to WolfQuest. So we are here looking at our Kiba bear, and we're about to grow up her pups, Mikhail and Aspen. I did quite a bit of thinking of how I want to play them, and so we came up with 4 things, me and hubby. We're gonna have a quirk, a flaw, a goal, and a way to earn pack points. And the pack points, depending on who has the most points in the end, is the true heir to the Snagglefang pack. So this series specifically is going to be called Brothers Rivalry. So it's literally that. They're rivals against each other to see who carries on the Snagglefang pack for real. The real alphas. So let's do this. So here we've got Kiba. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. We're gonna look at our family tree. All right. We can see Aspen, and he's the browner one. So I realized that when playing. He's got way more brown in his coat. We have Mikhail, who's a little more gray. And then we have Teo, which we lost so early on. It breaks my heart, but that's okay. So it looks like Aspen didn't get any pluses to strength. He got a negative in stamina. That's a little rough. No pluses or minuses to speed, and he got a +1 to his health. So he's a little healthier, but he can't run or fight as long. So we'll have to keep that in mind. And then Mikhail. Whoa! Okay, so he got a plus in strength. He got a 2. Oh my gosh, that's gonna be rough. He has no stamina at all. Uh-oh. He also has a minus to speed. Hunting is going to be so hard for Mikhail. Oh, that breaks my heart. But his health is incredible, so he can hit harder and he can fight longer, but his stamina and his speed are really low. Hunting is going to be rough, at least until we can get him something else. We're definitely going to have to put points into stamina to kind of balance him out once he ages. Okay, so let's start with Aspen because he's the first on the list. So play as wolf. We're not going to make him an iron wolf. I don't want to start playing now. So let's go back and see what he looks like. Oh my gosh, he looks just like his dad. And he got collared. Interesting. Okay. He looks exactly like his dad. Like, to a T. Wow. Okay, so let me get out my handy dandy notebook. So for Aspen, his quirk is that he can only den in tree stump dens, and I did that because I thought since his name is a tree, it kind of makes sense. So he can only den in those dens, which is kind of actually also a flaw-ish because there aren't as many of the tree stump dens, so we're gonna have to go out of our way to really look for them so that when the fleas get too bad in our first tree stump den, we have another one to go to. So that's his quirk. Okay, so his flaw, because Aspen was always the one playing with toys. I mean, they always kind of played with toys, but I feel like Aspen played with them the most. So his flaw is that if he is out and he finds an item, finds an item, or the scent of an item, he has to go get it, and he has to take it all the way back to his den. Now, obviously, we can't do this in Amethyst Mountain because you don't den in Amethyst Mountain, but in Slough Creek specifically, he has to take it back. So he can't hunt. He can only take territory through marking, but he has to take the item all the way back to the den. Even if he's starving and tired, doesn't matter, has to take it back. And then his goal is to collect 1 scavenger hunt item per member of the pack. Now, obviously, there are only so many items, so if there's less than 9, which would be the max pack members he could have, it's not possible, so we'll have to kind of adjust for that. But if he has 7 pups and there are 9 items he can find, he has to find all 9. And we're gonna have to figure that out because that's gonna be rough. Rough. Okay, and then for pack points, this one's important because this is really what's gonna determine whether he's the true heir or not. So Aspen, to get a pack point, has to go into another pack's territory, purposely look for the wolves there, fight them, and win. Because he's going to carry on that from Kiba and Bane, that they were the power couple. They always fought and won their battles with the other wolves. He wants to prove himself and his strength that he's just as powerful as his parents. He has to purposely go looking for trouble and beat up the other pack members in their territory. So he can't take the territory and then attack them. He has to attack them first. So yeah, that's his pack points. And for every single time he does that and chases off the pack, he gets a point. So pretty cool, huh? All right, and then, oh my gosh, he looks great. Look at him. Oh, he's got brown on his tail. He's so cute. He's even got brown down his back. Oh, you're so pretty, Aspen. Okay. Are you ready, Kiba? We're about to grow up Mikhail. Alright, play as wolf. No. And no. Alright. Oh my gosh. They do. They look just like their dad. They took on all of their dad's traits. But Mikhail has a little more white. He got the white chin from his dad. He has the white chest. He's got way more white on him. And he is not radio collared. But I think their eyes are even the same color. They are. They don't look anything like their mom. Not even a little bit. Okay. So, for Mikhail, his quirk, because he was such a mama's boy and wanted to be close to mom the entire game, he can only den in the same den sites that his mother did. So we have to use the same den sites. And I'm thinking about possibly making it where he has to stay at the same rendezvous site as well. That's his quirk. His flaw is that, and this is this is funny. So Mikhail won that name. I love that name so much. I want to name my son Mikhail, my real son. I don't have any babies yet, but when that happens, I just love that name. But Mikhail is actually a D&D/Pathfinder character that my husband has made, and I love that character. I absolutely adore that character. But that character has kind of a weird thing about eating, and so I'm adding that to Mikhail the wolf, just kind of as a funny haha. So there's that. So his flaw is that he cannot go to sleep. He cannot sleep unless his hunger bar is over 100%. So even if he's exhausted and he's fed all of his pups, he has to either find food that he can eat or hunt, because he cannot go to bed with less than 100% food, period. Even if he doesn't have any stamina left to hunt, he's just gonna have to look for food. That's gonna be really rough. That's an epic flaw. That's probably a bigger flaw than Aspen's, but we'll make it work. We'll make it work. All right, and then his goal is he has to try, he has to eat at least one of every prey animal. That doesn't mean he has to hunt them all, just that he has to eat them. So like bison, for example, he just has to find a bison carcass and that counts. So that's his goal, is to taste every prey animal in the game. So that includes like bull elk as opposed to cow elk. He has to have both. So it's gonna be really interesting. I'm gonna have to write down all the prey animals and have like a little check mark list in my little notebook here so that we can keep track. But he has to eat beaver, he has to eat bunny rabbit, he has to eat mule deer, doe, and buck. I think to make this just a little bit easier, as for moose, I'm just gonna say that any moose that he eats is fine. He doesn't have to eat a bull moose and a cow moose. So just one type of moose. But for the elk, because they're huntable, and the mule deer, because they're really huntable, he has to taste each kind. But the moose I'm going to give him a break on because this is kind of tough. I made Mikhail's harder than Aspen's. I don't know why, but it'll be fine. Aspen's could be really hard depending on how many pups he has, but like if he only has 2 pups, then he only has to find 4 items. It's a piece of cake. Okay, and then pack points. Pack points. So he gets a point. Sorry, I had to read it for a second because we negotiated this back and forth. He gets a point for every coyote that he kills in revenge for his brother, Teo. So because Mikhail was all about family, being close to his mom, and then towards the end there, he was really close to his dad too, we're actually going to make this a revenge thing. So if he kills a coyote, that's a point. If he kills 5 coyotes, that's 5 points. He gets a point for every single time he kills a coyote. And looking at his stats, I've realized he's really at a disadvantage there because his stamina is so low and his speed is so low. So he's gonna have a really, really hard time. But I didn't know what his stats were when I made these. And honestly, I think that's better. But I will say right off the bat, Mikhail has the greatest disadvantage. So it looks like just from this, Aspen may have the edge already before we've even started. So we'll see what happens because Mikhail's my favorite. But okay, so that's what we've got for both of them. And if you guys come up with any other ideas that you would like to see, post them down in the comments because I'm not going to record again until we actually start them. And that brings up another thing. We're going to do Mikhail on Tuesdays and we're going to do Aspen on Thursdays, I think. Or vice versa. I'll have to think about that. I guess since Aspen was listed first, we're going to reverse that. Aspen is going to be on Tuesdays and Mikhail will be on Thursdays. So you'll get to watch them. You'll get to watch 1 episode with them each week. You'll still get 2 episodes of WolfQuest, but you'll get 1 episode of Aspen and 1 episode of Mikhail for our brothers' rivalry. But yes, if you come up with any other ideas that you like possibly for Mikhail and Aspen that you would like to see me play with them, please post it down in the comments. Give me more ideas. I like the ideas I came up with here, but if you guys put better ones, I will change it because I love your input. I mean, we're still a small family, so the input's really low, but any input you have, I will read it. I read all the comments when there are any. All right. Well, that is all we really have for this episode, you guys. So we've got Aspen, our very, very dark, tall, dark, and handsome radio-collared boyo. And we've got Mikhail, who's a little lighter. Oh my gosh, they're so pretty. I love them so much. I was kind of wondering if they had changed something. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Did we freeze? Oh no! Hold on. I realized I pressed the wrong button, which is what caused the whole game to freak out. And it really did. I thought for sure it was gonna crash. Okay, so I was kind of hoping... Darn. I want to talk to the developers about this. When you're creating a wolf, you have like 3 scroll bars where you can kind of change their personality when you're creating one. Now, obviously, when you grow up a pup, their personality has been set, which is great. I prefer that. But I'd love to be able to see what it was. So I had an idea of what their personality was like rather than kind of just assuming from how they act. I'd actually get to see, okay, so they're way more bold, or they're way more cautious, or they're extremely lazy, or extremely energetic. I think that would be really helpful, so I might mention that to the developers. This is gonna be rough though, you guys. That's gonna be so rough. Okay, well, if you enjoyed this little prep episode, this will be episode 0 of Brothers Rivalry. Make sure you give the like button a tickle and a poke. Subscribe to join our small little pack here, and ring that bell to get notifications of when I post Aspen and Mikhail's story, because you're going to want to know when those pop up. All right, I love you guys, and I will see you next week with the stories of our grown-up pack members. They're not new, they've been in the pack, but oh, all grown up, so exciting. Okay, I'll see you later. Bye.